We're very excited tonight. Tonight is our first ever time at Carowinds, and we're here specifically for Scarowinds tonight. That is their Halloween horror type experience that's going to be happening all throughout the park tonight. They have multiple houses, shows, scare zones, all that good stuff all throughout the park. But we're also here to ride coasters. We will be here both today and tomorrow. Tomorrow will be more ride heavy, but we are gonna get some early coaster rides in tonight, hopefully without too much of wait. It looks fairly busy, but not too bad. But I think we're gonna be watching opening ceremonies here soon. I don't remember what they're calling, but they're basically opening ceremonies. So one very interesting thing, so they open at 6 o'clock tonight. It is currently 6:15. The opening ceremonies start at like 6:25, I believe. We believe they're right here at the front of the park. But since it is during their Halloween event and they are on to their new chaperone policies, they do check your ID as you come in. So that's something to remember if you're above 18. Make sure you do bring a photo ID. But they do have a lot of photo ops over here, all throughout the front of the park. That's super cool. Again, with Fury all in the background. We'll get plenty of off-ride footage today and tomorrow to show you guys of the rides. Fortunately, there is no on-ride filming on the rides here, and we also do not believe we can bring you guys inside the houses. Unfortunately, we didn't hear anything back from Carowinds. I low-key kind of sent it kind of late, only giving about 3 days to respond, so I won't blame them, but we'll just ask the attendants at the front and see what we can do. But otherwise, we'll just be talking about our experiences tonight. But again, I'm super excited. First time here. Obviously, if you didn't know, the big thing is this is on the state divide for South and North Carolina. That's why it's called Carowinds. We are walking on it right now, and you can actually see a sign that points you to the right for North Carolina and left for South Carolina. But it's cool that it runs through the whole park. So one thing that's a little different this year with all the Six Flags and Cedar Fair scares is even though your pass does include Halloween admission, does not include the houses this year. So you do have to pay separately for a wristband to get inside the houses. I don't love that. I don't like that they sold passes and told everyone they would get Halloween, but then came in and said, oh, but you actually to get inside the houses, you have to pay extra. I think that's a little cheapy. We kind of knew they were going to do something like that though when we bought passes. It is what it is. It was only $10. It's not like I was like, whoa, holy crap. But, you know, it's still kind of cheapy on them to get you like that. Over here is Thunder Striker, that used to be known as Intimidator. This is their hyper in the park. Very excited to ride both their hyper. It looks like it's 3-train operation tonight. Fantastic on that. Hopefully ops are good here tonight. Then we obviously have the main event that is Fury 325, and then we also do have Copperhead Strike that I'm super excited to ride to. So, and then right here off to the left side of Thunder Striker, we do have the Awakening that I believe is their like opening ceremonies type show. So we're gonna right over here in the plaza. Very excited for this. Again, we've been very surprised about this park and decorations already, so we're very excited for tonight. I actually do have fire up in that barrel. Probably hard to see with the daylight, but I imagine as the night kicks off, this is where their rave show also happens, so hopefully we'll catch that later in the night too. But we're gonna watch The Awakening.
Can you believe it, ladies? 25 years of Scarowinds, the most terrifying celebration in history, and the Bon Bon Burlesque gets to open the festivities. We just need to move some things around here. Like, take that big box and put it backstage. Oh, maybe put those little pots up front near the... Well... The Twilight Toad. It does exist. All of Carowinds' legend is right here in this book. 25 years of fright and fears, house of darkness, maze of mirrors, isle of voodoo, campsite blue, reaper's gauntlet, doom and gloom. Ladies, look! All of Scarowinds past! There's the Overlord! There are we! Good old mom! That hot dog cloud! What's a super saturated?
Hello, ladies. I'm very glad to see you enjoy my work, but I couldn't help but notice my name wasn't in your little lineup.
Are you that hot dog clown? Because to be fair, nobody learned his name.
My name is Mendax, and I'm not the type you forget to mention. Greetings, mortals. Name's Mendax. The Greeks called me Storyteller, but you can call me the Creator. Every story of Scarowinds past, that's me. I wove the terror. I invented Carolina fear itself. And do I hear as much as a thank you? No! Where is the love, the adoration, the merchandise? The mayor is in a bind. The Slaughterhouse is out of business, and a tragedy like this will bring publicity, funding, and, of course, re-election for its brave public officials. A new era emerges, the year 2147. All is controlled by the network. A lonely gamer develops an AI companion, forming around its new rulers, where you must prove your worth or risk deletion. Technological terror reigns. Ready your cyber beings. They've accepted the terms and conditions. Two brothers, born attached, abandoned by their mother in an alley off Hollywood Boulevard, and bring those silver screens to life. Pockets of lies and a caravan of acquired fairy magic lead to devastation. The hollow begged the sky for rain, but it never came. Little vials of hope. The elixir releases pheromones that bring on the rain, he said, right before the screaming began. Now, allow him to introduce his creatures, and the two fairies that made it all possible.
No one's getting out. It's about to. Go insane, pour some glitter, make it rain on them. Let me see them. We're taking over.
Carowinds' new chapter will forever be bound to the name Mendax.
So nice little opening ceremonies there. It wasn't anything like super revolutionary, but it was nice to see all the houses. I did think it lasted a little too long. I'm sure I cut it down a lot. It was 17 minutes in total. That I thought was just a little too long for what they were showing. But again, I did like that we got to see all the houses. We got to see like the icon for this year. But since Thunderstriker has no wait right now, literally 0 minutes, it's a walk-on, thought might just get our first ride of the night on Thunderstriker. Again, this will be my first time at the park, so first time on. Alrighty, so sorry, the show's going on right over there. just had my first ride ever on Thunder Striker that used to, again, be Intimidator not that long ago, but did get rebranded not too long ago. I really liked it. I haven't been on Mako in a while, so I don't really know where to rank it, but I really like the staggered seating more than the 4-across. Obviously not great for capacity's sake, but great for riding's sake. I luckily got the front row. It just happened I was up there by myself, single rider in the front row, so I got to ride with that other single rider. The wind in your face, it's a little windy here tonight, is crazy. Like, I felt like I was taking a full breath of air every time we would hit a drop. So, super, super fun. I would definitely love to give that a reride either tonight or tomorrow. I really enjoyed it. Definitely a pretty already high start to our night here. So, as I was waiting on my dad to get off of Thunder Strike. I keep wanting to call it Intimidator, sorry. So I have to keep looking back at the sign. I actually went and got all season refills because I plan to come back to more than a few Cedar Fair parks, hopefully, within the next year and a half-ish. Interesting enough, though, when I was reading online, and we were at Six Flags, it said that your Six Flags cups only worked at Six Flags, Cedar Fair cups only worked at Cedar Fair parks. I guess that's changed relatively recently because these are generic Six Flags cups. It's a Six Flags Corporation now, so maybe these work at the Six Flags parks? Hopefully. Well, I made my way back up to the front over here just to take some videos of the front kind of scare zone with actors out. I will say, it looks like it's going to be a very busy night. It looks like a lot of people are still flooding in. Again, it's not a long park hours night, so that's why we were kind of hoping it wouldn't be as busy tonight. Only about 6 hours today, from 6 to 12. So it wasn't like they were open real late, so we really thought like, hey, maybe they'll have less people here today. So, but I don't think that's happening. It looks fairly busy. But hopefully we can still get through all the haunts tonight. That's our main goal. So we're currently walking around the right side of the park. We're gonna go look at the line for Fury. If there's no wait, I want to get on it for a night ride. But if there is a wait, we're gonna come back later in the night. The main point of tonight is getting in the haunt. Shows are kind of a hit or miss. If we can get them in, we might. If not, I don't think I'm gonna be devastated with those. The haunts though, I do want to get them in. Again, we paid for those tonight, so definitely wanna make sure we get those in. But Fury is definitely my top ride here, and also, look at that lift hill at night. It's only dust, but they got those green lights on it. Looks really nice. So back behind us here is the Sinners Lounge down here by Fury. Has a full singer in there, a bar, and nice seating. That was cool. I'd definitely check that out over here. But man, this Fury sign, holy moly. I love this. Oh, sorry, there's kind of a scare zone behind us here. That's a pretty sign right there. I don't know if it comes out super well. You can't see it in the air as much, but you can see the dots. They have a laser projector and it's got like lines all in the air. Well, we're gonna go check out the line for Fury. Hopefully it's not too bad, but we'll come back later if it is. Okay, Fury's looking kind of long right now. Possibly a 30-minute wait from what I can tell from the queue line. No queue, the marker's actually working, like the outside queue line sign is not working, but it does look to be pretty lengthy. So I think we're gonna hold off for that right now. So we're not positive, but there's a sign back here for the silver screen. I believe it is one of the houses or possibly outdoor walkthroughs. Not really sure. but it is pointing back here in this like back walkway. Kind of a weird, there's like no signage actually on the walkway, so guess we'll find out when we get back here. Well, we think we're heading back here to Silver Screen. That is, I believe, one of their new houses. I'll have to double check that after this. I'll confirm in a minute. We did confirm with the worker, no filming in the houses. So unfortunately, that does mean I will have to put you guys away tonight. Really sorry about that. I do wish I could film inside, but again, rules are rules. But we're going to be heading into our first haunt tonight. Seems back here in one of the back buildings behind Hurler. Alrighty, we just got out of our first house that was Silver Screen Studios Director's Cut. It is a new house this year. They have 2 new ones, and this is one of them. I would say first impressions were not great. Again, we're used to Busch Gardens, we're used to SeaWorld, we're used to Horror Night, and even Not Scary Farm and stuff. So we're really used to those high-end horrors. So it's going to be hard to really gauge it for us, just because we don't come to a lot of these. Like, this could be one of the higher ends of the lower ends, but we didn't love that house. It had some okay set design in parts, but there was a few sections I didn't like. First, they used some AI-generated artwork in there. Not a big fan of that, at least personally. Just hire some artists. I think it's not that big an expense. You should just do it. But definitely our biggest problem with that house was scare actors. I felt like there was basically none. We saw maybe like 6 all throughout the house. And when we did see them, none of them jumped on me. None of them like kind of lunged. Nobody had a scare spot. They just kind of talked, or they were more funny in there. I felt like, I don't know. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, but I didn't feel scared at all. And there was a section in that house that I was expecting to get very scared in, where you had to kind of hunch over it, and there was like a mossy like zombie section, I think. But there was no scares on left or right on the walkway, so I was very confused. It felt kind of pointless at a point, but again, not a great start, but hopefully it does go up from here. I will say one benefit, we didn't wait very long there. We only waited about 15 minutes, and that was with them pulsing groups in. Does kind of seem that's what we kind of assumed was going to happen. It looks like there's a lot of people here, but it seems like it's more like families and stuff doing night rides on rides. I mean, there's a lot of kids, as you're saying, like tons and tons of kids wearing the no boo necklaces and just walking around enjoying the night at the park. Oh, that's a nice thing to see. They actually do have freestyles over here. I didn't know they had freestyles in this park. That's nice. So, not too far past Fury in the Jukebox Diner, they do have a scare zone over here. But right up to the right is our next house, that is Slaughterhouse. This is a returning from last year. It seems like from the opening ceremonies, what we caught was it has like a theme of the mayor's and the town is like running out of money, and he's sending to kill people to get like government funding for the murders or something like that. Not really sure, but we're about to find out. Well, we're already better off, way better off at the start of this one with the full facade over here. It actually is looking pretty like a nice entrance. Looks like it's almost a walk-in again. So you're only gonna weigh about 2 or 3 groups. So we'll see you after the house. Really hoping this one's better. We have a lot higher hopes with the facade being a full one this year, or this time.
Do not touch the monsters. The monsters will not touch you.
Over here is Carolina Cyclone. Ooh, my bad. This is definitely a tomorrow ride, but I definitely will be getting on it, since this is one of those fun ones that do the double corkscrews. I will immediately say that instilled a lot more hope for us throughout the night tonight. It was a much better house, way, way better sets, much more scare actors, though it did still seem like there were spots where there were supposed to be scare actors and there just wasn't. So they could be having a major staffing problem this year that I could see. But otherwise, significantly better. Really, really gory, and I like that. Tons of dead folks all over the place, like super gory, blood, guts all over the walls. I really like that house. So much better than the first one. We have a lot more hope for the night. We had a theory that maybe Six Flags is struggling a little bit more throughout this year than they were last year, so maybe those returning houses are a little bit better. But over here seems to be like a sideshow scare zone here.
First one. Ooh, so close. It's right back in your hands. All right, let's see. Come on, you can do it. I'm leaving you. Let's see it, man.
Oh, we have another scare zone here, Harvest Fear. This is kind of their, seems like Halloween themed one. I think earlier I totally said that the opening ceremony was like the houses. No, they were the scare zone. So this one's themed to the mayor, sicking like a bunch of people on the townspeople to get kills. So we'll walk through.
Happy birthday! You just keep yapping, that's all you want to do. Yeah,
You're really about to make me mad in front of that mouth of yours. Oh, hi,
No one's talking to you, I'm talking to her.
Oh, you dare talk to me like that? You know what this makes me want to do?
What does it make you want to do?
Wrestle! Oh my God! Look at that little critter you got in your hand right there. Let me see what it smells like real quick. Oh yeah, oh that's the stuff right there. You know, that just reminds me of when my papa used to take me over to the river and he was like, Tammy, you don't need to eat any more rocks. Your teeth are already jacked up as is, girl. I know I wanted to. That made me real mad. You know that?
Yeah,
You ever eat a bunch of rocks in your day?
I've done every once in a while, you know.
Yeah, I do that, and I like to grab a frog really hard by its throat. I just go, yeah.
The normal stuff, yeah.
Exactly. What you gotta say about that? Sometimes you're a little shy. I told things. You know, sometimes, real quick. Hi, I'm Big Tam.
Hello, I'm
I
Paul.
realized it was really rude. I didn't introduce myself to you. But, you know, chainsaws were originally used to help women give birth. But I'm the first woman to ever give birth to a chainsaw. Ain't that right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. She did it. Yep. I gave her to my little baby right here.
Crazy.
And sometimes she's a little shy, but sometimes she goes. That's why hers came out red. Oh, yeah. Ours didn't. Oh, yeah.
That makes
I wonder if
sense,
she got
yeah.
something to say. Let's go.
That makes sense.
Come on! Time! No, she's a little shy, that's it.
Hello, citizens of Harville County.
All right, and that was by and a far none my favorite scare zone so far tonight. We haven't done a whole lot, but that one was great. Obviously, they were showing up for the camera a little bit, but in general, the atmosphere in there was great. They had like a fake high school band in there playing, and they play every like hour of the night. That was awesome, actually. I love the theme of like the fair in a small town, like fall festival. And obviously it's all in the section of the park with all the fair rides and stuff. So there's all the fair rides going around. And there's tons of scare actors in that zone. I feel like half the scare actors were in this zone, period. So again, fantastic. I really, really like that scare zone. That's my favorite thing we've done so far tonight. So as soon as we rounded the corner, we came over here in the Blue Ridge County. This is where Copperhead Strike is, and we're at our next house that is Paranormal Inc. We are in line for it. Definitely the longest line of the night, but hopefully it won't be too bad. This is all themed to Hayden Hill Hospital. We're gonna be exploring it, a rundown like hospital that used to torture its patients and had cruel doctors, and since they still hunt their victims. I think this one's a fan favorite. I would assume that's why it has a decent line. I'm very excited to see it. So we just got out of Paranormal Inc. I did realize I have seen that one before in videos because I believe it is at other Cedar Fair parks. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I saw it at this one. I really, really like that house. That's definitely my favorite of the night. It had a cool setup, so it had like 2 pre-shows, one out front, and then one actually inside. The inside one was really cool. You go in, it's like a ghost hunting show called Paranormal Inc. and they're doing a live taping, and they have a new spirit box they're testing out, and then it cracks and breaks, and then they have a ghost fly over you, 2 doors open at the sides, and you get kind of split up for a little bit. Really good house, has a really cool ending with 2 giant puppets, so definitely a highlight of the night. But we're heading into another scare zone over here next to Copperhead Strike.
You guys like orange?
So back here, all the way back past Paranormal Inc. is Copperhead Strike. This is my second most anticipated coaster here. It is one of the Mac coasters. It just looks really fun. I've seen this game, or this, in a lot of things, but Planet Coaster had it as a blueprint, so pretty familiar with its layout, and they also had it as a custom coaster layout too, and I really like building these. I like building the Max and Planet Coaster. I think they're fun to build. So I'm really excited to actually get it on. We're gonna check on the line again. If it's a little too long right now, we're gonna come back later. We still anticipate people leaving closer to midnight, so we're gonna try to get rides in closer to late here tonight, but we're gonna check the line real quick. Yeah, we're definitely skipping it for now. 50 minutes right now, so not what we want. Because that will, again, it's already 9 o'clock. We only have until 12 tonight, so we definitely want to get in our haunts first, but then we're going to see what we can do about rides. I do think it's funny, if you look up at the Sky Tower, it's spinning at the top all night. Not rideable, but it does have like cat eyes on it. I think that's super funny. We're coming back here by the Sky Flyer, yeah, the Wind Seeker as this one's called. And we're heading all the way back to Tooth Fairy. I think this is their outdoor house, so it's partially outdoors, but I guess we'll see when we walk through it. Well, one of the most recent takeaways from this park is the Flying Dutchman that used to be here. You can actually see the station here for it. Still fully intact over here. And you can actually see all the footers still in place, so they could be possibly planning to replace something over here with it. So we just got out actually 2 run-throughs of Tooth Fairy. The first time we had some kids behind us and they were being a little loud and a little annoying. So I was like, let's do it one more time without them. The house wasn't too bad. It's probably middle of the road for me. It has some pretty weak sections to it. Some sections I really think could use scare actors and also some more theming. But it had some really good sections. It was kind of a dark Tooth Fairy theme with like medical facilities and like kids with their whole like jaws missing on the floor. And then there was like kids trapped in cages and stuff. And then there was like a really cool room that was like full fleshy, and it was like teeth were coming out of the wall. Really weird. And then the ending had definitely the most impressive puppet we've seen so far tonight. Almost every house has had a cool puppet. That one was huge. Very huge, like Tooth Fairy puppet looking over a kid's bed. Super, super cool. Definitely the best part of that house. So we're actually made our way over here in front of Boo Blasters. I do think we're going to keep this until tomorrow just because it does have a little bit of a wait still tonight. And again, we're trying to get in the houses and some night rides on coasters. This won't change whether we do it at night or the day. Now we walk past Boo Blasters all the way into this back area that's called Aeronautica. It is one of the newer areas. It does house Afterburn, that is their B&M Suspended. I've heard it's very similar to Montu. We will be giving it a ride again tomorrow. But this area looks pretty nice. I believe it is fairly new. Of the time of obviously recording this. If you're watching way in the future, sorry, not new. But they have a really cool pair of bumper cars over here called the Hovercraft. Really cool theming. Some of the better bumper car theming I've seen in the US at least. It's kind of cool, and the sign for it says Hover and Dodge, and that's also kind of cool there. So they have some pretty cool theming over here on their back, like carnival games back here. They also do have a nebula back here. I hate these things, bro. I'll show it running here in a second. I don't know what it is. It's something about it getting so close to itself. There's something about that in a flat ride gives me the nerves, and I don't know what it is. So I usually don't get on these, but if you're interested, there is one here. So something new, I believe, from last year, I believe was the last time we saw this, is the Conjuring Beyond Fear experience back here. Unfortunately, we're not going to do it tonight. I didn't really want to cough with the money for it, so it's an extra $15 on top of your normal $10 for the other haunt experiences. It is, I believe, a little bit more of a premium experience. It's kind of a, I don't know how to describe it. I think it's like kind of more an immersive experience, if that makes sense. So they lead you through the house. You have like a full thing. I think it's pretty long too. I thought about doing it, but again, it's going to take a lot of time. This line is ridiculous back here for it. Definitely the longest line of the night. But I thought we would quickly check out the gift shop back here. It's just a gift shop, so we'll look at that instead of actually doing the attraction. Look at that line. There's a Horror Nights line back there, and I bet that thing is slow. So they have a bunch of merch back here for the Conjuring universe. So they have Nun stuff, they have Conjuring stuff, they have Annabelle stuff, all the good stuff back here. Looks like some pretty fun merch. They do have like limited edition Annabelle full-size dolls that are $500. I don't know why you would ever want that. But they have it if you want it. Annabelle shirts back there. And then they do have some like Conjuring Universe solid shirts here. And it looks like this is the actual exit for the attraction. Alrighty, we're heading back to Camp Snoopy. That is their newest addition for this park. And this is going to be housing our last house of the night. That is the doll themed house. This is another one of the new ones this year. So far, the only other new one has burned us pretty bad. So I'm going in with low expectations and hoping for something good. We'll definitely have to come back here during the day though. I'm very excited to be back in a camp snooping. Haven't been back since we went to Knott's Berry Farm a long while back now. I do need to correct myself there. I said newest addition to the park. I just meant with new attractions. So back here they opened up the new family coaster, and then they also opened a splash battle. Neither are open tonight, but I'm sure we'll get to see them tomorrow during the daytime. This has obviously got more family-friendly themed decorations back here too. So like more Halloween, pumpkins, ghosts, fun stuff, you know, not something that would scare a child. So we're heading back to Defex 2.0. Here's a good look at the water ride real quick though. This is, again, newer addition for this year. Don't know if it's still operating for the season, but if it is, we'll get to see it in action tomorrow. Oh, we're heading into our last house, Defex 2.0. All right, so definitely the longest wait we've had so far tonight. Waited about 20-25 minutes, but I don't know what was up with our first house. Must have been budget cuts for one house this year, and it all went to silver screen because everything else was actually quite good. That one, so the theme had a pre-show, and it was kind of themed to like a kid's kind of show, but also like tour facility with toys and stuff. But then there was a gas leak and it made everyone go crazy, basically. All like the workers and stuff that stayed at the facility. So I had a pre-show, and you walked through, and there was another pre-show that had a scare in it, and then a bunch of actors came out, kind of like Paranormal Inc., very similar setup. So it was definitely my second favorite. I'll go through rankings at the end of the night, let you know what we think as we do redo houses, because we still have about an hour and 40 minutes left in the night. But again, we started with a horrible house because it was buying a long shot. The lowest budget, had the least amount of scare actors, and just had some not great looking scenes. Everything else was great, so I really don't know what happened there. But otherwise, we've had a great night with haunts. Again, we're going to be redoing some of them. But I actually personally think that one might be better than Dolls this year at Horror Nights. I personally really don't like Dolls at Horror Nights. I think it's very boring. I think that has a more interesting premise. Well, we made our way back where we started here, where they did The Awakening. That's their opening show. They do that rave thing, but we kind of watched it from the side. Don't know if it's super worth filming. It's got a lot of copyright music in it, so it's just going to be difficult to film. At this moment, though, I think we're going to be walking around trying to get on a few rides. I think we got our main three. Our main three are Fury, the old Mine Train, and then Copperhead Strike. I think we're walking over to Fury right now. We're going to see what the line looks like. If it's still really long, I think we're going to go do the Mine Train first, then go back to Fury, and I think we're going to try to get in line for Copperhead Strike right at the very end of the night. Alrighty, we passed by Fury and it still looked really long, so we made our way back over here to Georgia Gold Rusher. This is their old mine train. I will say they have a rating here on like 2 intensity levels. For some reason, this is at a 4, and that's only 1 behind Fury, so we're probably in for quite the ride on this one. These old mine trains, man, sometimes they beat the crap out of you, but I guess we'll find out. Well, I will say, maybe we just have some bad trauma from our recent trip to Six Flags over Georgia, but that was, it was nice actually. Weirdly smooth at sections, like, actually like buttery smooth. But it was odd because like there was sections that were buttery smooth, but then you would kind of hit a little whoop, and then you would be fine again. It was an odd ride. Really liked it though. Thought it was fairly fast paced in sections, smooth again in multiple sections. Had a few little bumps here and there, so it wasn't too bad. 1.5-ish tunnels. One had an open top tunnel, one was a true tunnel, 2 lift hills, and the brakes were not too sharp, so really not that bad. Again, we were expecting the same one we rode it at Six Flags over Georgia. It was insanely rough. Like, I've not gotten beat up on a coaster as much as that one. So I was bracing myself, no need. This is a great family ride. Well, we made our way over here to Copperhead Strike. We were gonna maybe get a night ride on it, but it is already 11:15. It's posted a 50-minute wait, and we do want Fury. That's kind of the main night ride, I think, over Copperhead. Even though Copperhead does look cool at night, these operations on it are slowing tonight, man. They consistently have a train in the station and both on the brake run. That I just don't think it should be like that. Another annoying part that I do find about Copperhead is they don't let any bags in the station at all. So you can't even like switch off with switch off and then your other person grab the bag from you.
Excuse me, sir. Would you like to see my pet cockroach?
Oh.
Look at my pet cockroach. His name's Jeremy.
He's nice.
He's my best and only friend. Because everyone else here is so mean to me.
Well, I hope you and Jeremy have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
So yeah, ops pretty slow tonight. So hopefully they're a little better tomorrow when we get here. All right, since we still have 45 minutes left in the night, we thought we would get one more run in Paranormal Inc. This is, I think, our favorite house, so we kind of wanted one more run through it. And now there's no line. We waited in all this crowd earlier. It's basically walking. All right, so we made our way over here to Fury for our last ride of the night. Well, most likely, worker said it's about 30 minutes, and it's 35 right now. Unfortunately, they have nowhere to put it up in the station like Copperhead, so I'm forced to get a locker here tonight. I do find that kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Alrighty, I just got off my first ever ride on Fury 325. By far my tallest coaster I've ever ridden. It's my first Giga. I was very, very excited to ride this, and I'm glad to say it really delivered. This is a great line. First, look at this sign. I know I showed it off earlier. It's pretty, man. The lasers are off right now, but it's really pretty. Something funny really happening behind us. It's after close. The trains keep going in and yelling, "One more ride." They keep sending them around. I think that's really funny. Good on the ops team over there, having fun with the end of the night. Realizing it's not that big of a deal, but I really like that. That's fun. Really good, smooth, literally like butter. That drop is nuts. I've never, again, tallest ride I've ever been on. When you get to the top first, it's crazy how tall you are. It's like almost scary, but then when you drop off, it lasts so long. You're like, oh, how long am I gonna be until I hit the bottom and do the curve? I wouldn't say that was super intense though. I will say it actually surprised me. I was expecting some G's. Didn't really hit me that hard. It definitely had some on certain of the banks, but it wasn't too bad. And that's how I prefer my coasters. I prefer speed and intensity over just G-forces, but that's me personally. The tunnel was super cool, lit up. And again, I love the theming of this ride. Really hoping we can get a night ride tomorrow, or a daytime ride tomorrow, because we got our night ride. Also, after we got off, we had like 3 minutes left and we ran over and did Slaughterhouse again. We were the last people in for the whole night. That was also really fun. We were the last people walking in. We were waving at the scare actors. It was kind of funny though, because they kept not wanting to scare me and my dad, because we're not like the most like obvious people to scare. But then they would realize there was nobody behind us, and then they would, oh.
Come back soon.
Back thing. It was really funny because they would like kind of jump out after we were already there, realizing we were the last people. And then we got an extra scare at the end with one of the scare actors that was waiting out at the front of the house. So that was super fun. Really glad we got to do that again, because I did like Slaughterhouse. But we're gonna go wrap up my video right at the front of the park. All right, that officially does it for our first night here at Carowinds. Very excited to come back tomorrow. There is some big ones, especially Copperhead Strike, that I'm still very excited to ride. But I thought overall, Scarowinds was pretty good. Definitely exceeded my expectations. The whole park has exceeded our expectations, honestly. I never try to have too much going into a park. I just try to realize what it could be, and I try to tamper it. So then when it's not, it's really great. When it is, it doesn't hurt me at all. So this park has definitely exceeded them. Scarowinds exceeded our expectations quite a lot, actually. We enjoyed most of the houses other than the cinema one. I really couldn't figure out what was going on there. It's like everything had good sets, a lot of actors, in general, like flow, and that one was just like not great sets. There was almost no actors. I don't want to blame the actors in there, because they were trying their dang hardest, but it was the house in total. There was a lot of problems with it, so I just skip it if you're gonna be here. It's honestly not worth your time unless it's a walk-in, then you might as well do it. But otherwise, my house ranking for Scarowinds this year, hopefully we come back in the future, it's definitely Paranormal Inc. at the top. We really enjoyed that house. I thought it was overall just really fun. The pre-shows were great. Second is definitely the second pre-show house. That is the new one. It was the toy one. I can't remember its name. I'll put it up on screen. That one was really great. Again, really helped with the pre-shows. Had great sets, great actors in it, lots of actors. It just really flowed well. I think the third for me personally is going to be Slaughterhouse. I really like the sets in there again. The scare actors are doing pretty good. I like the more open rooms in there where they would chase you through it. And it was very gory. So if you don't do well with gore, I don't know why you're coming here, but don't do that one. Tooth Fairy fourth, but it's pretty close between the two. I really like the puppet at the end of Tooth Fairy. That's what made that house for me. And then dead last, obviously, cinema. Scare zones, I don't really know how to feel about most of them. I thought most of them were just fine. But I did think the like Old Town Halloween one with the mayor and stuff was by a long shot the best. Like, it wasn't even close. So definitely that one was the best. But again, we had a great time. Night rides, good haunts. What else could you ask for? So if you're in the area, or you for some reason also bought a Six Flags pass like we did for like $55, come out here. Again, remember that it is an upcharge for the houses. I, again, don't agree with, but it is what it is. It's not like anything's gonna change. So stay with us soon. The second video from our trip will come up, our normal day here, where we'll try to get back on Fury, we'll try to get back on Intimidator, and we'll also get on Copperhead and all that for our first rides. So thanks for watching. Hope this video brought a little more joy into your day, and we'll see you guys next time.